In this movie, we'll look at presenting our various design options. We're going to do this by setting up a sheet and placing the various schemes that we have on that sheet. We already have all the tools we need, so let's take a quick look at how to prepare our design options for presentation to a client or some other team member. So I'm in a file called Presenting Options, and I'm looking at a floor plan called Level 1 Scheme A. Now, this is just a cropped version of my lobby. So the entire floor plan was here. And what I've done is I've just cropped in on just the lobby area, and I've hidden the crop region. So you can see there's the crop region right there, and I've just got it hidden. I've also got another version of that plan for Scheme B. And if you look, you can see this one uses the sofas and the square columns, where this other one here uses the chairs and the round columns, for example. Now, I also have two versions of the perspective view and two versions of this section here running through the lobby as well. And I want to take each of those three views for each scheme, a total of 6 views, and put them on a sheet to take with me to the client presentation. Now, before we create this sheet here, I want to zoom in on this area right here, and you'll notice that both of the section marks are showing in the floor plan. So we have section at lobby scheme A, section at lobby scheme B, and they're both appearing right here. Now, if you hover your mouse over them, they'll pre-highlight, and you can see this one is Scheme B, and the other one here, if I press my Tab key, is Scheme A. Now, I'm currently in the Scheme A floor plan. That's the one that's bold here. So what I want to do is hide the section mark for Scheme B in this floor plan. So I'll select it, and here on the Modify tab, I'll choose the Hide Elements icon and hide it. So now all I'm seeing is Scheme A. I'm going to open up the Scheme B and do the opposite. I'm over here, locate the Scheme A section mark using my Tab key, select it, and then hide elements. Now, when the section mark fills in, it might be a little tough to read here because this tag is in the way. So I'll just go ahead and move that tag a little bit as well, because we're going to see the sheet number fill in right there. Let's just double check that on the Scheme A plan as well. There, just a little bit of fine tuning on both of those. Okay, so now we're ready to create the sheet. Scroll down here. Locate the sheets on the project browser, right-click, choose New Sheet. I'm going to pick a full-size title block, click OK. I'll zoom in on the title block that's created and give it a name right here. And I'll just call this Design Options, ZF to zoom to fit. And now I'm ready to start adding the views to this sheet. So I'm going to take my Scheme A floor plan, drag that in right about there. My Scheme B floor plan, put it next to it right about there. Keep it lined up. So let's take the perspective for Scheme A, drag it in, place that one right here. I'm going to try and get the title marks to line up. Perspective for B, might be a close fit here, so we might have to fine-tune things in a moment. But let's get everything on the sheet first and see how everything fits. And finally, our two sections. Now, looking at this, I realize that I've got lots of room next to them and not so much room vertically. So what I'm actually going to do is just move the sections up over here. And then I'll just select everything and kind of make some adjustments here to get it to fit a little nicer on the sheet, like so. So now if we zoom in here, and let's zoom in over on this floor plan, you can see that this is filled in with 5A14, and it doesn't show the redundant section mark because we hid that in this view. And there's our detail 5 right there. And likewise over here, this is 6 on A14 because it's corresponding to this one. And then, of course, we have our two perspectives as well. And now we can go to a client meeting, and just with this one sheet, we can have both design schemes side by side, and we can talk about it with the client and try and make a good decision about which way we want to go with the project. So the easiest way that you can present multiple design schemes is to just simply set up a sheet and add various views that you've already dedicated to individual design options. Put them all on the sheet, and then the presentation is ready to go.